Podcasting from somewhere in Central Florida.
Where is the bloody rum?
I see you've tried knifey spoony before.
Let's drink some rum.
Rum is the power, rum is the key, rum is the thing that will set us free. Rum, rum, rum,
And nerdy.
rum, ahoy! Rum, rum, rum,
And nerdy.
Sit back, relax, remember to turn off your cell phones. For the next hour, let me be your Candy Crush.
Hey everybody, welcome to Rum and Nerdy. I'm Greg.
And I'm Garrick.
And today we have episode 4.28. Tailpipe Banana.
You get it?
You get it?
You get it?
You see what
I get it. That's pretty quality.
Yeah. So, this is the 166th episode of Rum and Nerdy.
166 times.
Yeah. And technically
That's
more.
That's a lot of times.
Technically more because...
IAPAs and...
No, actually, they're just like individual posted episodes. This is 166.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Go us.
Fun.
Hooray. What are we talking about today, Greg?
Beverly Hills Cop Axel F.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was looking forward when I saw the previews for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And I saw some friends post some things online about it, and they all came true. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun.
I was waiting for you to say, and it sucked.
No, I'm not going to come on here like some neckbeard toxic fan, just a horrible. I'm just going to shit on everything for the sake of shitting on everything. No, it was fun. It's a Beverly Hills Cop movie.
They nailed the music.
It's a fun movie.
First off, music nailed.
I think they nailed everything, because we've been seeing a lot of tribute sequels lately between Ghostbusters.
This wasn't that.
Ghostbusters, Top Gun. Yeah, it's I don't know if it's fully in the tribute sequel genre, just because it was a fun movie, but all of the elements that you wanted to see, you saw. But there was enough new elements. There was enough new story. They pushed the universe forward enough that it was a new movie. Would it stand on its own? Maybe stand like if it was the first movie of the genre that you saw.
Yeah, I mean it was an Eddie Murphy movie, but and saying that, like the last, I don't know, however long, 10, 12, 15 years, Eddie Murphy movies have been like Dr. Dolittle and
which are not bad.
Yeah, like he took a period of time off from being Eddie Murphy to be Eddie Murphy the father and make family-oriented films, and again, that's fine. This was it kind of felt like
it. Yeah,
it was him.
It was him. Yeah, because I mean, Beverly Hills Cop. It was kind of one of those '80s gritty comedies. I don't know. I thought they nailed it.
Yeah,
I really had fun. Really had fun with it.
Do we want to bother with this? I don't think we need to spoil it. We're just going to do this thing. You've been warned.
You've been warned. It's been on Netflix for like 3 years now. Like, what's the?
Like a week and a half.
A week and a half. Okay.
No. Yeah.
Week and a half. Okay.
It posted on the 3rd, so about a week.
We're always on the cutting edge of reviewing.
Yeah.
Stuff that's been out for at least 2 weeks.
Well, in this case, it's a week. So yeah, you've been warned. Whatever. It's Netflix. You don't have to go to the theater. Just borrow your cousin's Netflix, sign on, and watch it.
Yeah, just go watch it. It's fine.
That is good.
It's fine.
So, actually, and I gotta explain that there's a little bit of echo in the studio today.
Oh, there is a little bit of echo.
Just a little bit.
Because do you want to finish talking about Beverly Hills Cop? Do we want to put a period on that? Yeah,
just put a pin on it, and it's not your radio. Don't adjust the settings. It's the studio, but we'll explain why in a little bit.
No. Yeah. So, finishing the Beverly Hills Cop thought. What was your favorite? What was your favorite new element? What was your favorite callback element?
Oh, my favorite new element. I would say that I really appreciated the younger characters. They cast them well. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was great.
Yep.
He was great. Weird seeing him in a beard.
It was a little weird seeing, but it helped me though, because it kind of made him feel like a real actor, like somebody. Because usually when you see it, anytime you see him in something, you're like, oh, it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and this is like, oh, hey,
No, he's done
here's
some
the
really good
character.
artsy, like wow, like low key. He's a really great actor.
He's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
But he has one of those faces where every time I see him, it's like, meh, that guy.
yeah. Well, the Third Rock from the Sun or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but him and the Jane character, Taylor Page, well cast as Eddie Murphy's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fun. But the banter between them and her playing up the character like she was definitely Axel's daughter. Like she had that quick-wittedness, think on her feet,
Absolutely.
improv, to kind of explain her way through different. So she really nailed that character with the writing and the performances was really, really good. So as far as the new things there, the throwback old things, they brought everybody back.
Yeah, they did.
They really just kind of like if there was.
And they did it well. They brought them back well. It didn't feel forced. Everybody had been promoted. Everybody had been, had moved on. There was enough of a story in between when we last saw them to now.
Yeah, the Bronson Pinchot, Serge.
Oh,
yeah. He was fantastic. Actually, I saw an interview with him.
Belky Bartakamus.
Belky, yeah. I saw an interview with him, I don't know, like 2 days ago. And he was talking about the character when they came up with it. And he said he was, in makeup, getting ready to do test footage. Because, like, the original scene was all improv.
Oh, really?
Him and Eddie, yeah. It was like, they had some kind of guidelines, but there was no script. So they ran through 4 or 5 different versions, but he said the makeup artist was this European woman, young, sunglasses, and was doing his makeup with the sunglasses. And apparently he was like, and not for nothing, it's like, are you sure you're going to get the color right? Like, you got really dark sunglasses on. And she's like, oh, don't you, it's like she was that voice. So when when they were doing it, one of the takes, he just went out on this doing her voice, and that they're like, holy shit, that's perfect, and they went with that as the character,
and that kind of defined that because was he in every movie?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he was in every movie. So yeah, it that defined a character for 4 movies.
Yeah, it's just this random, makeup woman.
That's awesome.
She's probably still telling that story.
I hope so.
But yeah,
you hope so, because maybe she doesn't know.
Well,
Maybe she's like, oh, that's a fun accent. I like what they did there. And no, they're making fun of you. Sorry.
yeah.
Oof.
Hey, inspiration.
Inspiration.
It's inspiration, not making fun of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So one of my favorite new things is they found new gags, like, we joke about the banana in the tailpipe bit, classic, original gag, but they found little gags like that the whole time, and they organically incorporated them. Like when he's trying to escape the cell, and he takes he takes the ventilation grate, he slips off the handcuffs, leaves the handcuffs on the desk,
Chair on the desk.
Yeah, chair on the desk, and he unscrews the grill to the ventilation shaft, and he leaves it open, and bad guy comes in and just climbs up on the chair, is looking in the ventilation duct, is like, oh man, he's escaped, and then woof, Eddie Murphy jumps out from under the desk and hits him,
pulls his leg out from under him.
You watch too many movies, man. And I'm like, yes, that is awesome, because in real life you can't do that. So little dose of reality there.
Little things.
Yeah, little things there.
Just way lots of things.
Yeah, that was good. I thought the specifically Axel's daughter, how she was incorporated into the story, again, didn't feel forced.
No.
Felt very organic, and it worked really well with the movie. Because at the end of the day, it's a buddy cop comedy.
Yeah,
buddy cop action comedy. So it's we're not remaking the Island of Dr. Moreau or something.
No, and when I always refer to this our show as a buddy comedy.
Yeah.
So we're basically Beverly Hills Cop.
This is the banana in the tailpipe of podcasts.
Yes, we little less action than Beverly. I mean, there's never been a gun go off on the podcast.
No, not in the
yet.
not at the podcast. Yeah.
No, I mean there was a gun being fired at the event.
We have, there is.
At the
we
weekend.
don't have a gun sponsor yet.
No.
Ruger, we're looking at you.
I actually
it's an American-based podcast. I imagine our European listeners are like, "What? Doesn't every American podcast have a gun sponsor?"
Right. We were proudly brought to you by Nerf. If we were going to have a gun sponsor, it was definitely going to be Nerf.
Absolutely going to be Nerf.
Yeah, Super Soaker maybe.
No, I'm still going to go with Nerf. Nerf has got some crazy ass artillery.
Yeah.
Have you seen some of those Nerf guns?
Yeah. There's like the big motorized Gatling gun.
Oh yeah.
You see the guy that like instead of like the D battery or whatever goes in it, he used like an 18-volt DeWalt battery.
Oh, I did see that.
Turned it into a real gun.
We had a guy at work. So anybody that works in a nerd type office environment, there's probably Nerf guns stashed all over the place for random office Nerf gun fights. Because that's the way offices operate nowadays. And one of the guys at our office modifies them. He's like, no, put all new seals in it and all new gaskets. And
all new seals.
I put a bigger spring in it, and then he added a handle to the back because you physically couldn't get enough grip onto the handle in order to cock the mechanism back to fire it. And it'll launch a Nerf dart fast enough to break a window. Like it is painful if you get hit by this stupid gun. No, it's just one of the little Nerf handgun things, but it'll shoot all the way across an open office floor plan. So, moral of the story: be careful when modding your Nerf guns.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Why aren't we drinking rum?
I don't know. We should drink rum.
Yeah. Specifically, you said we were going to get this one today.
We are going to get this rum today because it's our house rum, the
house rum,
the Bumbu. We're christening the new studio.
We are.
First recording in the new studio.
We just started moving into the room today. And again, it's not like, hey, now we've got a bigger place in this office building downtown Orlando. No, it's just upstairs.
It's upstairs. But,
yeah.
But now we get to annoy the rest of your family when we record.
Yeah.
Because we're not.
Well, family. Well, largely, there was a couple of reasons. One of the large reasons was we wanted to bring our guest room down to the first floor for when the mother-in-law visits.
More accessibility. Yeah.
Yep. Avoid that staircase. But it's also a chance with like the changes and everything. It's changes. This gives an opportunity to kind of get in and clean up, redistribute the displays.
I was about to say, like, hey, I was looking for an excuse to dust off all of my Legos.
Yeah.
So, why not just move them upstairs?
Yeah. Lego cleaning.
That's 100% an ADHD end game to like, hey, you know what? I think I should dust my Legos. Hey, why is the studio upstairs now? Well, I went in there and I realized that if I was going to dust it, I had to take it off. And if I was going to take it off, I might as well move the bookcase out because I had to get the floor. And then started vacuuming the floor and realized that I should just put this all upstairs. And
not quite that process,
but now we're
here in the ballpark of that, I think. Yeah. So now that we're drinking rum, any other thoughts? Music was on point.
The music was so good, and I remember when it started, and it was a really good, it was a really good opening song, and everything was either original to the series or kind of a tribute to the original score.
I mean, that first action scene wasn't like Neutron Dance.
No,
it wasn't that.
Because the first action scene, they were doing a thing, and I'm like, that's really good. That's really good chase music that feels like Beverly Hills Cop chase music. But you know what? It's not the Neutron Dance. Like it'd be really cool if they weaseled some Pointer Sisters in here
No,
as a tribute, and then they did like the second chase was the Pointer Sisters, and I was like, yes,
but
they did it.
the intro when they were still in Detroit was one of the original songs, though.
I think it was, but there was it was the Meter Maid chase.
That one, no, but
I'm saying the first chase. It was like, okay, like that's good Beverly Hills Cop chase music, but it's not the Neutron Dance. And then they did it, so it's like, oh, hey, we heard you, Carrick.
Yeah,
here's the Neutron Dance.
But yeah, I'm trying to remember that.
It was all good though.
Yeah,
it was all good.
They nailed the music.
Mm-hmm. Again, it was if you were going to make effectively Beverly Hills Cop 4, what, 30 years after the last one? Beverly Hills Cop 3 came out in like 1994. 93, 94, something like that, yeah. Ah, damn it, Tyler, where are you? So, it's 30 years. Legitimately 30 years. And when the whole thing...
94?
Yeah, 94. So when the...
It's, 84, 87, 94, and 2024.
84. 40 years.
40 years.
40 years. And I'm admit Eddie Murphy looks really good for doing the first Beverly Hills Cop movie 40 years ago.
Yeah, I think he's like 63. I don't know. If only there was a device that I could click buttons on.
Maybe.
Go there.
I did like the guy that played his old sergeant, Todd, back in Detroit in like the first
73.
I think it was
63.
I think it was the first 3 movies. He was the sergeant in Detroit, and he actually got shot and killed in Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yeah.
The one with the theme park, which I always enjoyed. Anyway, yeah, they had a little tribute to him in the back of the Paul Reiser's office, which was fun.
Paul Reiser looked great too.
He did, and I remember commenting on that because what's the last thing he did? Stranger Things?
Yeah,
was he in Stranger?
He is in Stranger Things.
I remember seeing him in Stranger Things, and I was like, oh, like Paul, you kind of let yourself go, man. And then in this new movie, you're like, oh shit, like. Paul got himself together. He's looking pretty good.
Yeah, he was in Stranger Things. I
think that's
Reboot. In 22. The Gutter in 24. I'm not familiar with that.
No,
I'm
thinking Stranger Things is the last thing I saw him in.
Oh, and he was in The Boys.
Oh, which I started watching.
Really?
I started watching The Boys.
Finally.
I know.
What took you so long?
So I hit critical mass on people yelling at me that I need to be watching it. So one person says you should watch it. It's like, okay, like a lot of my 2 people do, and you're like, okay, and then like you see the little nuclei, and then suddenly you get enough and you hit critical mass and like the pop fusion starts to happen and you're like, oh shit, I'm going to watch it and stream it. And yeah.
So how far are you in?
Halfway through season 1.
Oh, so you're still figuring it out. This shit goes deep and just keeps digging deeper.
Yeah, that's I've really enjoyed. So I think one of the reasons I avoided it, and I know it doesn't count, but it's collateral damage of my superhero fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it was.
Yeah, but if you're going to get over that, this is the thing to do it with.
No, agreed. But I'm saying that's what one of the reasons why it was hard for me to. Yeah, I'm going to start watching a superhero. Well, yeah, look at that strong person and people punching each other and that guy can fly. Oh, this is going to be rough. So it took me a while to walk through that door, but yeah, it's really good. And it's deeper. Yes, it's deeper than just the on the surface superheroes fighting crime. Like
No, this is like what superheroes would really be like in the world of
it is, but there's more to
corporate.
But there's more to it than that. It's also like a revenge story. It's also like a murder mystery thing. It's also like there's not murder mystery, but it's not just because when people were first describing it to me, I was like, hoorah, mystery men. Like I don't.
No.
Yeah. No. I know. I know all of the things, and I know everything that I'm
This
using
is like
to compare it to is wrong.
if Amazon ran superheroes, it's like or no, better yet,
Google.
No. We just blacked out his name.
Holy shit! I just watched a thought fly away from Greg's skull. It just happened.
Yeah.
Like I was looking at it. Like,
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Yeah. No,
This
there
is
you
if
go.
Elon Musk
If Elon
got a
Musk
hold of
ran,
superheroes.
but yeah. You know? Have you ever seen those? And I think movies have tried to capture this scene for years, like where you actually see someone's soul leave their body, and like their eyes kind of glaze over, and the camera starts to pan out, and they switch to a soft focus,
Hey.
and then the music starts playing.
Listen, it's really hard
Hello,
to always
darkness, my
Garrick.
old friend.
Garrick.
What? Oh,
Listen, Linda. Sitting here making sure that both channels are recording, because that sometimes happens, and looking up shit on IMDb,
we could
and vamping and drinking.
we could have a whole 5th season of this show if every time we had to stop, go back and re-record because one of the
No.
channels wasn't hot.
No. It doesn't happen that often. It doesn't. It's happened like 4 times.
This year.
No. It's happened like 4 times.
It's usually only when there's a guest and we get some really good stuff on there. You know, right now that we have like 6 guests listening to this episode being like, hey, that happened to me. I was there for that.
No. Not 6.
There's a support group. We're going to meet on Sundays.
And that's the episode. I don't want. Other side of all this is I am so sore.
Yeah, you moved a lot of shit up here. Well, you moved a lot of shit downstairs. This is...
Yeah, I completely emptied the room in the closet.
And this table, this freaking butcher block workbench
Yeah.
studio table, what does this weigh? Like 8,000 pounds?
It's 2 inches thick, and the main board is what,
Giggity?
6 foot by like 36 inches.
It's a really big, it's
solid
a,
birch.
It's a really big workbench wooden countertop thing. Like this is not
steel.
a,
It's
this
the
is not an IKEA desk.
For those of you who know, this is a global industrial shop work table.
Yes.
The global. No, that's funny.
It hurt us.
It hurt us. It
It
did a
hurt
little
us.
glitch thing. It's working though. Let's see what happens.
We're not echoey yet. Okay.
No, okay. Anyway, it's a. Watch yourself. It's a 2-inch thick global industrial. Like that's a brand, a catalog that you can get for shop and warehouse equipment. And I bought my desk from, it's like, oh yeah, normal people like use this as like
Did you say normal
industrial.
people?
Normal.
I heard people.
No. And there's no way to prove it because it's not recorded.
Down on your channel.
Anyway, solid fucking butcher block countertop.
I'm impressed you got it up here.
Well, my neighbor came in and helped me with the top, but I had to flip it over and disassemble it all and everything else and then get it up here.
Yeah, it was really strange. I walked into the old studio now.
Yeah.
To get glasses and rum, and I'm like, oh, this just feels weird.
Yeah. A lot to clean up, get those other shelves up here.
A lot to clean up. There's like, what, 10,000 pounds of Lego kits on those stupid shelves.
Not that many, but there's a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do know that there's a lot though. But I'm taking steps to deal with it. There's the minifigure display that I bought that's going to go in the hallway right outside the door.
Yeah.
That holds 200 minifigures.
That feels like a lot.
Well, and then that'll also have room in it for like one horizontal shelf in there. I'm going to put the little mini ships from the Star Wars Advent calendar, the ones that I've saved. And I'll put like one line of the minifigure or the mini ships.
Basically,
the micro tiny ships.
You're really looking forward to kind of cleaning up, redoing, redisplaying.
Yeah. Now there's going to be some things though because the ceiling's not as high. So when I put the shelves, a lot of that stuff up high, I'm going to have to redisplay lower. So
you should probably get more shelves.
yeah, I'm getting a low shelf thing there off to the right that'll be in the background from the camera. Speaking of which,
Yeah.
so I was visiting Shannon and Dave in Las Vegas over the weekend for the 4th of July.
Demo Dave Pro.
.com. And we had some really good conversations about the show. He had asked if we're going to use this change as an opportunity to go to the video podcast.
And we probably should. I mean, we are on YouTube now.
Yeah. At the
You
end
hear
of
that, listeners? We're on YouTube.
we're on all the things.
Yeah, we're on
And but the interesting thing is the main unit that we want that will do the automatic switching camera and all that stuff, multi-camera. You plug the mics into it and everything. It's expensive. Just that one main unit. Not to mention we need to, change around a couple other things, get some cameras and so on and so forth.
What's the unit cost? Get it? Unit cost?
Minimum of the hardware. I think we're going to spend about $3,000.
Cool.
So I kind of want to officially throw this out there. I know we're getting some pretty decent listenership. If anybody out there wants to sponsor Rum and Nerdy Studio, and we'll legitimately, we'll give you, what do you think, a year of calling it out as the X-sponsor studio for a year.
Yeah. Like Raymond James Stadium or
Yeah.
or the SoFi Center or Mercedes-Benz Arena.
Yeah, so if you're willing to throw us like $3,000 to do a good hardware and systems upgrade on the podcast so we can get onto YouTube and people can see our gorgeous fucking smiles. Just saying.
So are there
They'll have you to blame.
Are there fancy Instagram filters associated with the... Actually, I think we're probably doing it wrong. We're going to select an organization at random, and if they don't pay us money, we will put their name on the studio.
Looking at you, Scott. And Sean.
I was going to... No, you got to think big, man, like Wells Fargo. Who the hell are these guys? No, it's the Wells Fargo Studios. Wait, no, it's not.
And we didn't approve this.
Well.
Oh, God, look at him.
Quick, pay the ransom.
It's only $3,000. Come on. The lawyer's more than that. Just pay it.
That is actually
Venmo.
part of the Rum and Nerdy business model. Extortion.
Listen, we're just two guys that just wanted a reason to drink and talk to you. We're having conversations with you where we can't listen to your opinions, which is just like having a conversation with us in person.
I love it.
Anyway, so that's a thought. He also, and don't throw any hate to him. Please don't throw any hate to Dave. We love Dave, but Dave has never seen 1 minute of Star Wars content.
I'm sorry, what?
He's never seen... You knew this because we've talked about this.
Yeah, you know what? I think I blocked it out.
Yeah. So,
no, I do remember this because Shannon was giving him crap, and she was asking advice. It's really, my husband really snores, or he spends too much time fishing. It was like an honest heart to heart, like, okay, he's never seen Star Wars. What do I do? Like, this is starting to affect us.
So he has agreed to start watching them, and after each watch, he will record for us a 3 to 5 minute review.
We talked about this. He absolutely has to do it, and that's deserving of a whole segment.
Mm-hmm.
The grown man Star Wars first impression review. Because when was your first Star Wars impression?
Mine?
Yeah.
It was New Hope when it was...
I'm just saying, you're probably like... well, no, you're older. You're older.
Well, it came out in 1977, so I was 3 when it came out.
Okay. I was 3 when Jedi came out. That was the first movie I saw in theaters.
Yeah.
So...
First movie I remember seeing... I knew I'd seen movies other than that, but the first one that I remember seeing was Caddyshack.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad played softball, and his softball team went one day after a game, and we were there, so we got to go see it.
That's cool.
It's pretty badass.
Caddyshack.
It was the equivalent in my day of in South Park when they went and saw the Terrence and Phillip movie.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker."
Yeah. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Caddyshack. I
Yeah.
love that. I
Like
love that
5
movie.
years old, run around with your friends going, "It's a Cinderella story."
He's in the hole.
Yeah. Well,
Bill Murray was only on set for like a week.
I
It was
remember.
like 5 days or something really short.
Yeah, I remember them talking about it. Like it was the making of that movie was just a long party. Just like they would just drink every night in the rooms, and it was a shit show.
It was yeah, God, what was it? Rodney Dangerfield. Did you hear about his audition for that?
Mm-mm.
I think I could have sworn I mentioned that. So basically, he just walked into the director's office, and he had like one of those like Coke grinder necklace things on, and he just like put a line of Coke on the desk, did a line of Coke, looked up, and he's like, "Hey, I got the movie or what? Or I got the part or what?" And yeah, that was his audition,
Dear God,
and they gave it to him.
that was the 1980s, I guess. Yeah.
Did you watch? What was the guy's name? Doug Kenny. Did you watch the Netflix docudrama thing about him?
I don't know
about
if I did.
about his life, because he did Animal House. He was one of the founders of National Lampoons, and they did there was like the kind of the them versus Saturday Night Live back in the day, and he did Animal House, which is one of the biggest movies ever at the time, and then followed it up with Caddyshack, which did not do well at the box office when it first came out, and he may or may not have committed suicide over it.
Huh.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. They don't. Yeah. It's one of those, like, it may have been a hiking accident. It may have been suicide. They don't know. But yeah. Anyway, the Netflix movie is really good.
Yeah.
Can't remember the name of it, but
If only there was.
God damn it! I should just look this up. Ugh.
Just look it up. Well, while you're looking that up, so so Demo Dave is talking about us actually doing that. So we'll have a little intro for that. He noted, I guess it was not last week's episode, the week before, we were joking that we needed a quick little non sequitur segment opening.
Yeah.
And I think that he's going to figure that out for us.
Well, that's awesome.
And we're like, no, it needs to be like a 5-second. And now non sequitur, boop doop beep, or so I don't know, whatever.
And now for something completely different.
I think that one's taken.
The name of the Doug Kenny movie, it was A Futile and Stupid Gesture. 2018. Doug Kenny was played by Will Forte. And there's a bunch of people. There's a bunch of people in that movie too.
Really?
Like it's a really fun cast.
Interesting.
Yeah. Every other actor you see is like, oh shit, it's that person. Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Fun. Now, what do you want to talk about?
So a lot of fun last week doing the Did You Knows Who
Yes.
You What's It's like. That was a fun episode.
We had a lot of really good feedback on last week's episode.
Yeah. I actually remembered one of the things that I was going to bring up, and I forgot to write it down and never talked about it. So, supplement to last week's episode. Do you know the official difference between first world and third world? Like, we talk about it all the time, like, you wouldn't see that in a third world country, or first world problems, or, we use...
I feel like I used to did.
We use those phrases all the time. First and third world. What's the second world? What is all... Do you know the worlds?
I feel like I used to did.
You used to did? Yeah, it's some Cold War bullshit, and first world countries are the NATO, aligned powers, and second world countries are the Soviet aligned powers. Third world countries were neutral. Just they didn't pick a side, like that was it. It's like India's
So Switzerland was like a third world country.
Yeah, India's a third world country. Why? Because they didn't pick a side. Like
I feel like that's been grossly
it has been
misinterpreted since then.
I mean, that's not the way we use it nowadays. But that's the origin. That's the origin of that phrase of the those sayings. NATO, Soviet, or other.
Yeah, you're
There's
another.
And there's a lot of others. There's a lot of third world countries, and I know
many of them actually significantly developed.
Yeah, they're actually They just
some of them have better educational systems than us. All of them have better education than us.
I wouldn't say all. Most. Whatever.
Why am I doing this Jim Gaffigan thing? He talks a lot about cake.
Yeah, well, it's better than doing like a random voiceover. Like they all have. None of them have educational systems better than us. But alas, they did. For Garrick was wrong.
Why don't you use a coaster so I don't have to sand the whole fucking desktop?
Because you didn't bring the coasters up here when I first started.
These have been up here since this afternoon.
Yeah, I think you just brought them up.
No, I brought up one that made it in a different pile. That one.
Well, you're already saying
By the way, this is the best pen holder ever.
the little trash can recycle bin thing.
Yeah. I have a second one somewhere. Oh, you know what was interesting? When I emptied this closet, there were 3 bins in that closet. Well, there were 6. 3 on one side and 3 on the other.
And only 2 of them contained human remains.
No. 2.5. But the one on the left, the stack on the left, no shit. Like one of them was a Sega Genesis and a bunch of games.
No, oh, really?
One was a Nintendo GameCube and a Nintendo something.
What Genesis games did you have?
I don't know. I didn't really dig
Can we
into
plug
it.
them in? Can we play? Can I have it? What's going on?
Where'd
it go?
They're in the other room. But the 3 bins on the right were all of my extra, like Lord of the Rings and nerd collectibles that were in bins, and I'd forgotten where I put them.
My Genesis broke recently, so you really did pique my. The colors are all messed up. I think it's a cable thing, so whenever I plug it in, like NBA Jam is all weird.
Well, I think the Rum and Nerdy household's going to have a big garage sale soon.
Oh, weird.
We're going to have so much shit to sell.
They absolutely are. I have half of my parents' garage is literally just shit that I moved out of my house that's going to get sold.
Yeah.
Like half.
We're going to have a
It's
Damascus
lot of
knife
crap.
with no
Why is it called
story.
Why is it called a Damascus knife?
Really?
Did it come from Damascus? I don't know.
No, there's a forging style where you layer with like different metals and things like that. So that pattern on it is a Damascus steel pattern.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that why it rusts?
No, it rusts because it was crappily done and it wasn't right tempered. It's a cheap knife.
It was forged in China with used ceiling fan parts.
Probably more like used engine parts, but
Huh. Well, I need to do research as to why it's called the Damascus. I'm assuming it was developed in Damascus.
I don't know. I thought it was
It would make
Chinese
sense.
or the Japanese. I thought were
Or
if only there was
or if it's one of those weird things like no, Bob Damascus, he's the one that started it. Do you know that's how German chocolate cake got its name?
Yes.
Some guy named like Ralph German. Germans don't like. I was in Germany and ordered a chocolate cake. I'm like, this is the shittiest chocolate cake ever. What? You should come to America and look at our German chocolate cakes. They're way better.
Okay, so it was first produced in India from iron ore with a high level of carbon, about 1 to 2%.
Oh yeah, Damascus, India. That's
and
very,
additional trace elements. The ingots or cakes of steel from India were sent to Damascus, Syria, where they were made into swords.
Well, there you go. I'm glad that Damascus actually entered into the story.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I mean, if it was like, a Bangalore knife, that just doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yeah. So this is like what a really good one would look like.
It looks like Wagyu beef. Frozen in carbonite. That's exactly what that looks like.
Yeah. It's pretty badass when it's really well done.
And when it's not well done, it rusts in your dishwasher.
Well, that's never been in the dishwasher.
Oh, really? It just gets all corroded and shitty.
Yeah, it's
naturally?
like when you wash it, you dry it off, and then you have to basically coat it in an oil.
Oh.
Like-
It seems like a lot of work for a knife that doesn't stay all that sharp.
No. And it's supposed to. Because all that layering makes it a strong knife, whatever. That's the other thing about that knife, too, is like a good cooking knife is not overly thick.
No.
You know, so it can slice in pretty good.
Mhm.
And this, on the back side of this knife, it's about 1/8 of an inch thick.
That's pretty big in knife terms.
Yeah. So it's not particularly good at cutting vegetables or, you know, things of that sort.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It would look very fancy as Exhibit A in a murder trial.
Yeah. No, it would be a good prop. Anyway, that's going to be on the garage sale.
Hmm.
There's so much random shit. And it's like, and moving everything up here, you were joking about it. Like, I get on and I just started unplugging everything and throwing it in a box.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, just
Wait.
all the cords. I mean, it works now.
We have all been in this exact situation with an entertainment center, a computer workstation, a stereo unit. Like at some point in your life, you have taken a bunch of electronic components off of the shelves, unplugged everything, moved it to a new room, set it back up, and then inevitably you're left with one very critical cable, and you're like, I plugged all the same shit back in.
Everything's working.
It's all together. It's all here. What did this do? Where did this come from? What's with the bonus parts?
And the bonus part is a plug.
Yeah.
With one of those specialty ends to it. I'm like, okay, I've got maybe it's the USB hub. Nope, that's not it. Maybe, no, all the monitors are clearly working and the computer's clearly working. And
What could it have been?
yeah.
It's probably some random charger for, no. 10 years ago, I got a remote controlled R2D2 cell phone charger or something, and this was the cord for it.
My USB AB switcher, I bet it was for that. Because I don't have my day job laptop anymore.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't wire in that AB switcher because I just got a simple single channel USB switcher that I'm going to use for the far right monitor here. So that when
far right monitor.
this one,
yeah.
So that when I use the laptop and I need the Room and Nerdy portable studio, if I need that and an exterior, I could just use that monitor. So I'm putting a switcher there.
Nice.
So
Okay.
So I don't. That's probably what that was. Then. Okay, crisis averted.
Mystery solved.
Yeah. But yeah, I like it. Once we get it all set up, we can post some pictures of the new studio, and very pleased with it. All the cables are 100% dressed and tidied above the desk and below.
Mm-hmm.
So everything. It's 3 monitors and 2 poles holding them up. Even the iPad Mini is in a mount for that, which is really clean because it sits floating behind the monitors.
Yeah, which looks really slick. I guess that's one of the few things you can do with an
Mac Mini.
iMac Mini. Yeah. I'm sorry. Was it you that was telling me, or no? I saw some reel recently where some guy was talking about the movement of modifying iPods.
No.
Yeah, like old iPods, and iPods are so. We mentioned them in the show last week. iPods are so old. The guy making the video kept calling them iPads, and it's like no, that's like an iPod Nano, like old school shit. There's a movement to modify them, and I started watching. I'm like, that's the dumbest thing ever. Why would you do that?
Modify them how?
He's like, upgrade firmware, software, plugs, things, memory expansions, whatever. And he's like, hey, here's this thing. You solder this onto the board, blah, blah, blah. You do this, and boom, you get a terabyte of storage. And it wasn't until that moment that I realized, oh, shit, this random Instagram reel is going to change my life because my, second, 4th gen, stupid old school scroll wheel iPod that lives permanently in my car as just a music server for my car can now hold all of my music, or will if I take it apart. And
you just upgrade the storage.
Yeah, instead of being a spinning 30 gig hard drive, it's a SD card.
And it just
like
it's got
like a terabyte SD card, and it runs on the iPod operating system. It accesses off of the SD card, but now it has all of the memory.
how hard is it to swap those out?
I don't know. It was just a guy saying that you could do it. I haven't researched it yet.
I figured it was a video showing the guy actually doing it.
No, it was a fucking Instagram reel. It was 25 seconds of like, isn't this cool? Blah, blah, blah. Check it out. You can. I'm going to do it. Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
That's how reels work, man. There's no real tutorial.
No, I guess
Hey, this is part 1 of my 37-part segment of 35-second chunks of instructional video.
It's like that guy on all the things. I can help you lose weight and never do cardio because cardio doesn't work for weight loss. This is what, and he's like, and if you listen to like, and I'm going to tell you for free, and I'm going to talk to you for 45 minutes about this, and then at the very end, I'm going to go, just eat kale or some shit like that.
There's got to be a Reddit. There honestly has to be a Reddit thread somewhere where it's like, hey, all of the clickbait answers in one searchable form.
Yeah.
These 11 weight loss facts will surprise you. Number 8 was shocking.
I just want to know what it is. Just
It's
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah. Hey, have you seen this? Yeah, here's what number 8 is.
yeah, number 8 was
Not that-
shocking.
not that shocking.
Don't eat raw sugar.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a again, saw a social media post where somebody was talking about all the viral hooks for TikTok videos and reels and all that, and they were hilarious. Like he had the top, like it was his top 10 list of best viral video hooks, and it's number whatever will shock you was on the list.
I do like the idea of having a cheat sheet for that.
Why? What are we gonna do?
I don't know. It just feels like we need one. Hey, non sequitur. If only we had the jingle.
Dun 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 dun.
Non sequitur.
Non sequitur.
As so, we talked earlier about possibly, those hexagonal.
Oh yeah, the hex
LED
LED
grid.
lights, the ones you usually see over really fancy cars.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do that in here.
It's way better than your ceiling fan.
Yeah.
That's a really low ceiling fan.
Well, if it's sitting over a bed, it's fine. But take that out, put that thing. Then it'll be bright as fuck in here when we do any video stuff. That'll be good.
Yeah, because the only thing worse than people seeing us is them seeing us better.
Yeah, but you need it so it's not grainy and it's got to look like we're professionally doing this. But even
recording to you live from a cave. Actually, my only complaint about
from Greg's upstairs spare bedroom.
no, the only thing that I don't like as much about this studio versus the old one is the natural light that comes in through a real window that's right next to me. Mm-hmm. Like a fucking vampire, man. Like your old studio, you're like, hey, what if I took these giant soundproof curtains and put them in front of all of the windows and then blocked them in by bookshelves just in case the zombies tried to get through? And now I'm like looking right at a...
Well, I'm working on it. I got a plan. This little one over here, I'm just going to put artwork over it.
That little one is hilarious. What is that? What will you even see out of this window?
Out of that, the driveway.
Yeah, it's right over your front. Like this is the front. I didn't realize this is the front of your house. Hey, look at that.
You're at the front now. Well, here's the other question. We've got our two, like this, I don't know, it was a year and a half ago, we upgraded finally to decent stands instead of the springy ones that are noisy as fuck.
Yeah.
Our guest stand is still the little tabletop boom with a 5-pound weight on it so it doesn't fall over when it's extended all the way.
No, we need to get a real stand. Real stand, real chair. Yeah, I see.
Should I just buy it now?
Yeah, I see this. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to buy it now. And then we'll put that in
Nice. We get that in a chair, and then suddenly, like, people are going to show up, and we'll have like a real operation here.
Yeah. Because, I mean, with the flush chassis mount plugs here with the power outlet.
Flush chassis mount plugs. Yeah, I know.
They look great.
I didn't hear flush. I heard a different word.
Frush? What the fuck is a frush?
I don't know.
There you go.
It's like the worst short circuit movie ever. Yeah, and your lights. And the fancy lights.
Yeah. Ooh, there's a 3-pack. I like the 5 because then the middle one, because it's like 5. They're configured like the 5 of on a playing card for the because the listeners can't see this.
Yeah.
So there's 1 in the middle and then 2 and 2.
It kind of looks like the Satellite of Love.
Okay.
From Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Well, if I get that,
Mm-hmm.
and then just because we still need a little bit of air moving in here, the ceiling fan I have in the other room that looks like a plane propeller.
Yeah. There's got to be a nerdier fan we can get.
Well, I think a plane propeller is pretty damn nerdy.
No, it's cool. It's not. I wouldn't call it nerdy. Could you imagine a ceiling fan that was just like C-3PO's limbs just flopping around?
Yes, but I don't see it making a lot of air movement.
It's my protocol fan.
Yes. I end up making that R2 noise when R2 just got struck by lightning.
I saw a freaking video of a parakeet the other day, and it was mimicking its the lady is speaking to it, and it's matching her voice, and then it does this R2D2 impersonation. Kind of freaked me out.
That's hilarious. Well, so the room's smaller,
Yep.
but
it has a bigger heart.
Well,
I don't know. It was a
and that's weird. I think
participation trophy after school special. Like, I didn't know how to defend the studio after that.
I think once we're all moved in, I think it's going to be cleaner. Also, we don't need a big room. Like downstairs is pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also right by the front door, so there's noise. People coming in and out.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I found the fan you need to get.
Uh-oh.
So the blades, it's 4 blades, and they are the wings of an X-Wing fighter, and then the center thing is R2-D2's head.
Let me see. How much is it?
Ah, there we go.
Holy shit. How much is it?
I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now looking for $3,500 worth of sponsorship.
Yeah.
Because we also need the R2-D2.
Please tune into our show and listen to 2 grown men critique ceiling fans. It's really exciting podcast material here.
Yeah. This week on Rum and Remodel.
Flip or flop? There's got to be a better name for that.
You can't find a price, though?
The nerd, no.
It was probably just like some guy built it.
Yeah, I think some guy did just build it.
Take my money, motherfucker.
That's disappointing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just did a search for nerd ceiling fans. There's some good ceiling fans in there, but none that have R2-D2. Oh.
Yeah.
Boo.
Anyway.
Yeah.
As Dave would say, I don't know what Dave would say. I blacked out a little bit.
Yeah, that's like the second time tonight you stroked out.
I'm really sore. I didn't try. I'm just like...
You are so sore that your brain just starts misfiring.
Yeah. He and I had a good time hanging out in the pool, though, on... What was it? Friday.
Yeah?
It was Friday. Yeah, because we'd all gotten in the pool, and we're doing our soak, and I went in and made a drink and came back out, and the girls were getting out. And Dave's like, I'll hang out for another half an hour. And apparently, an hour and 45 minutes later, the girls came out and said, you guys are getting baked. I red as hell under this shirt. I'm
Oh, really?
lobster, but which probably that sunburn didn't help with the muscle,
No.
thing today. But the it was good. I definitely want to get Dave more involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
He's got some great stories, and he's done some really cool things.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it was a good weekend. I'm glad we went out and hung out with him.
Yeah.
Next time,
I wish I could have joined.
I think they're going to come in a day or two early, make sure they make it to the IAPA kickoff barbecue.
Oh, nice.
Which will be fun. Anyway, speaking of, thank you very much, Dave Martin.
Demo Dave Pro. I still can't freaking believe you haven't seen Star Wars. Oh my God, you've got to be freaking kidding me. .com.
.net.
.net. It's .com.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you can find us at rumandnerdy.com, rumandnerdy.com.
Social media is also at rumandnerdy, also A&D.
Yeah. You can email us at show@rumandnerdy.com. We love to hear from you. We got a really interesting email from a listener, I think a fairly new listener, but he said he loved it and he downloaded a bunch of episodes, saw about one of the shows that we're working on. He works in the sound department, doing composing and things like that. I think he wants to work with us, but looking at his story, I want to get him on the podcast.
Oh, and his music is really good.
Yeah.
Really good stuff.
Yeah.
Like the full catalog is like, oh,
yeah.
He's got some really good stuff in there.
So we won't say more until we talk to him, but this is officially your notice that we've gotten your email and we're going to respond because, yeah, even if we don't work together, we want to chat because sounds like you got some good stories too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, email us and show@rumandnerdy.com. That's Andy.
Stay nerdy, my friends.
I don't want to take it anymore. I'll just stay here locked behind the door. Just no time to stop and get away. 'Cause I work so hard to make it every day. Ooh. Ooh. There's no money falling from the sky. 'Cause a man took my heart and robbed me blind. Someone stole my brand new Chevrolet. And the rent is due, I got no place to stay. Ooh. Ooh. And it's hard to say just how some things never change. And it's hard to find any strength to draw the line. Oh, I'm just burning, doing the neutron dance.
You're right, Brian. We gotta stop him. And I think I know how. Peter! Oh, God, sorry. You're right. Let's go to the dance.